I'm Deja, and welcome to Learning as She Grows. Shalom, welcome back to Learning as She Grows. I am Deja, and I'm just going to hop right into it, not going to waste too much time. The last time I came on here speaking about the Biblical Womanhood Starter Pack, we talked about what even is biblical womanhood? What does a biblical woman look like? And we really dove into that. So if you had not had the chance to check out that video, which is the part one to this series, I definitely recommend you do check out that video. But this video, as you can see from the thumbnail, is going to be about how to dress modestly and how to find your own modest style. Listen, coming into this walk and trying to figure out what's modest, what does modesty mean, what does modesty look like to you, it can definitely be very taxing, very hard trying to figure that out. And just speaking from experience, that was probably like one of the hardest things I had to overcome because I love fashion. I've always been a fashion girly. I love shopping. And I just really enjoyed my clothes. Okay. I had a lot of favorites, a lot of fan favorites that I did not want to part with. But at the end of the day, it does not amount to what I gained being in this walk with the Most High. And so getting rid of all those worldly clothes and hoochie mama outfits definitely was not a hard thing to do. And it is a necessary thing that has to happen if you do seek to have a truly meaningful relationship with the Most High and be able to be set apart in this world. That's very important as well. Imagine just being out and you look like everybody else, but you really living a set apart life, but the world cannot tell by the way that you dress. That is a problem. And there's a spectrum when it comes to modesty, and that's why I wanted to get on here and just talk about it. Like I said on the last video regarding this topic, a sister reached out asking for advice, tips, anything that I could share as far as just dressing more modestly, headscarves, which I don't have one on today, ironically. But just how I manage that and how I traverse that lane. And so I just want to get in here and do a quick little video just about that topic because it is important. And truthfully, dressing modestly has grown in popularity in just the faith-based community in general, the Muslim sisters, Christian sisters, Hebrew Israelite sisters, a lot of spiritual women are embracing a more modest lifestyle, modest fashion in particular. And when you look at the different content creators, you see that it really is a wide spectrum of what is considered modest. You have some that say, okay, pants are no type of pants. You have some that say, okay, there are women's pants out here, women's pants. You have sisters out here that say anything above the knee, no, everything needs to be below the knee. You have sisters that, don't mind a little tighter fitting clothing. You have some sisters that want all of their dresses and skirts to the floor and nothing hugging their bodies. So it is a spectrum. And I do want to note that it's important not to judge a sister for how she presents. Now, if she really is out here on some worldly stuff, that's a little different. And that can be very misleading to someone new coming into the truth who is really seeking to live a set apart lifestyle. But if you see that a sister is trying and she's making strides and wherever she's at on her journey, we just have to honor that and respect that. And not trying to force your own ideology on somebody, because what's modest to me may not be modest to somebody else. What's modest to you may not be modest to me, and vice versa. So we just have to be very patient and understanding when it comes to that. And so, yeah, I just want to touch on this, as a general rule of thumb, if you have to adjust what you're wearing because of the length, it's probably too short. Now, I can definitely speak to this. Back when in my mini skirt wearing days and my short days and everything like that, if you have to adjust what you're wearing so you can sit down so you are not exposed in an unforgiving way, it's probably too short. And we probably need to either put something up under it. That way you don't feel uncomfortable or feel like you may be exposing yourself, or you may just need to not wear that, out in public. Now, whatever you wear in your own home, up to your discretion totally. Okay. And especially if you married, you should definitely, keep it fresh, keep it nice for your man, but not for the world. So if it rides up as you walk, that's probably a no-no as well. It's probably too short and probably too tight. We cannot cap and say we have not had these experiences when we still wanted to wear what we wanted to wear. We would just deal with it, and that was just a part of the culture, right? Pulling your dress down, pulling your skirt down, etc. That's not a good look. It's tasteless, it's classless, and that is not modesty at all. I think we can all agree on that. Um, if it causes men to lust after you, which I know probably is not would not take much in the society, men will lust at you if you have on a paper bag, a paper sack. But we can try to mitigate the amount of people who would look at us a certain type of way if we are dressed a little classier. And I can speak to this from experience. Like I said, I loved my mini skirts. I loved the bodycon dresses. I loved the short shorts. Okay. I loved all that stuff. And listen, I just loved it all. And so any opportunity I had to show off my figure, I would do so. But then whenever that would attract the flies and the frogs, then I would be offended. And I'm like, okay, like I'm a princess. Why am I attracting flies and frogs? Well, ma'am, that's what they like. Okay. If you want a king, if you want a prince, you're going to have to dress truly like a princess and be set apart. If you want to present like your royalty, you need to dress like your royalty and really stand on that. And so that's just something that I had to do. And when I made that switch, I made that change. When I tell you the amount of attention that I got changed drastically, all of the flies and frogs left me alone because they already knew there was no chance. They weren't even interested, actually. They probably thought I was too something, too bougie, maybe whatever. I don't care because I was able to get my king. But whenever you do present yourself in a more modest way, it definitely changes the caliber of men that will approach you. People will know if you're out of their league. They're just going to be like, I'm not even going to step to her. It's not even going to work. But if you are presenting yourself as a low value woman, a woman with low standards, then of course you're going to attract men with those standards. And then you wonder why it's no good men. You're not attracting them. And so that's why it's important to dress modestly, especially if you're seeking a husband or you just want to, not be out here looking crazy. It's important to be able to present in a way that you'd be pleased with, in a way that if you have children, one day they may see what you used to wear. You don't want them to feel embarrassed about, what you got on. Like, oh, my mom was out here looking crazy. Like, we always have to be setting that example forth for the next generation. So yeah, if you have to second guess about what you're wearing, it's probably best to just not wear it. That's another general rule of thumb. And we know in our gut whenever something's off, when something's wrong, when we should steer away from something, that's already like a clear indication that it's like, maybe I shouldn't do that. So if we're called to be set apart from the world, we should try our hardest to portray an image of a woman who loves the Most High and loves herself enough to dress in a classy and respectable manner. Again, like I said, that varies from person to person, but generally we all know what that looks like. So I don't have to go too deep into that. But yeah, whenever I decided to make this switch, let me go backtrack a little bit. I didn't personally decide to make this switch. I actually received righteous counsel to begin dressing more modestly. Like many of you know from my testimonies that I've shared, I came into the truth in 2020. And I was still out here dressing like a hot girl. I looked like I didn't love the Most High. I looked like I was still out here in the world. And so as I'm doing like kingdom work and stuff and on platforms and speaking boldly about being righteous women and loving Yah and, being set apart and all these things, I had to receive righteous counsel about how I actually looked. Maybe one day I will pull up some old files, but why should I? Because that's the past. But some of the righteous counsel I actually received was from my husband, who wasn't my husband at the time. We were just colleagues, just friends working together. And he sat me and my best friend Jatea down, along with our other work partner and friend, Daweed. And they just sat us down and was like, hey, y'all are doing a lot of great work. We appreciate that. We love that. But this is a little confusing how you look. It's a little misleading. It kind of looks like, what are we doing? And so, I didn't take that to offense when it was said in a nice way. And I just had to do some true introspection and be like, you know what? I do look kind of off. Wait a minute. Like, I need to change this. This is not good. And literally that night, I went to my closet and removed everything that was immodest, that I considered immodest, and got rid of it. And so then now what? You get rid of all your clothes, you have nothing to wear, then what? Thrift shop. This goes to my next thing. How do we shop for modest clothing and head coverings, head scarves, etc.? Thrift shop. When I tell you it was so many gems in the thrift shop that me and Jatea found, that thrift shop will always have a special place in my heart. A lot of the clothes I wear today, a lot of the earrings came from this thrift shop. And not only am I supporting a good cause because the proceeds go towards a house for women who are battered, and it supports them. It also goes towards a house for women that are dealing with addiction, that are recovering from addiction. So it supports a great cause. They love the Bible. They love the Most High. And so, like, why not support them? And they had bangers in there. When I tell you gems that you would never see anywhere else, they had. So my recommendation is, if you're searching for modest clothing somewhere, you must go to your thrift shops. Now, listen, that could be a Goodwill. That could be a Salvation Army. That could be a thrift shop that's not a nationwide brand. And that could just be just a thrift shop in your area. Please do not sleep on the thrift shops. They have so much stuff in there, and it will definitely be worth it to you. I promise you. And because I went in there, I was actually able to truly discover my style. Like I said, modesty looks different for everybody else, but you can have so much fun with it. I didn't realize how boring my closet was before. Like, crop top, skinny jeans, crop top, booty shorts, crop top, mini skirt, bodycon dress. Like, it's like, this is boring. This is not a true display of my individuality. And once I really got into my modest fashion journey, I was able to truly discover the things that I like, the things that are flattering on me, the things that I enjoy wearing, the things that make me feel fun and feminine, and just allow me to walk out the door with my head held high, because I know that when I leave, I'm being an accurate representation of a woman who loves the Most High, and I look fly while doing it. So that's definitely my recommendation when it pertains to that. Headscarves too. The thrift shops had so many headscarves. Like 90% of the headscarves I own today came from the thrift shop. The other 10% my mom gave me. Literally, like, the elders, they got the gems too. Listen, if you have an elder women's closet that you can go in and be like, hey, you don't want this? Can I have this? You need to tap in with that, because it's gems up in there too. So that's pretty much what I wanted to share. If you want to hear more about my journey as modesty, and just modesty in general, how it is a journey for everybody, no matter what stage of modesty you're on, it is a journey for literally everybody. Please check out season 2, episode 1 of the Israelite Girls Guide. Modesty is a journey, which goes into depth about that a little bit more. But I just want to leave you with this. When it comes to the people that you're attracting based on what you wear, we just have to be honest and candid about the fact that if you look lustful, if you look overly sexy, and even the word sexy in itself, if you're a woman of the Most High and unmarried, should we really be trying to look sexy? Because that just means men want to have sex with you. Like, this is not what we're trying to evoke. And so once I realized that men started to respect me more. They wanted to take me on dates. It wasn't just about my body to them. It was about them actually trying to get to know me and respect me as a woman, and respect my journey with the Most High too. Nobody tried to overstep. And I appreciated that in the phase that I was, in that phase of seeking a relationship with the Most High, but knowing I wanted to be married one day. So once I was able to switch my wardrobe and dress with more respect, I was able to debunk the myth that all men think about is just sleeping with me, and that they all like loose women. That's not true. Real men actually prefer the opposite, because they're looking for wives and not girlfriends. And with that, I'm going to close. I'm going to let that sink in. I know this was jam-packed real quick. I had to get in real quick. I actually am at my time, but I just wanted to drop in with those gems. Prayerfully that this was a helpful stream for you. Prayerfully that you were able to glean something from it, and seek it out for yourself. Go to the Most High in prayer and ask him, what do I need to do to improve as a person? Not just on the modesty tip, but just in general. How can I become closer to you? How can I be a better servant to you? How can I be a better follower to you? How can I be a better daughter? Really ask him that, and he will show you the ways that you can improve. And we just have to be in a spirit to receive his correction and to repent from our ways and just really seek to be better for him. So yeah, that's all I had to say, y'all. I'll be back next time, closing out this series of not closing out. This will be the third part to the Biblical Woman Starter Pack series. We're going to be talking about family life, marriage, and motherhood as requested. So again, thank you so much for those watching. Please leave a comment, like, share, subscribe, and I'll be back again to close out this series. Thank you. Shalom.